Welcome to Chatting with You.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Chatting with You. Today, it's going to be only me, Giselle Urbina. You guys know me already. I'm the office manager of Urbina Law Firm. And I wanted to talk to you today about a topic that I feel that everybody touches on every day, which is COVID. But more importantly, I wanted to revisit this last year as we mark today in March, 1 year that COVID has been around. Of course, it's been here before March, but in March was when everybody started closing, when we personally closed our office for 3 months to work from home. And I feel like there's a lot of changes and a lot of things that we've learned during this period, during this year of COVID. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was how different it is for everyone to adapt in a working from home environment. Okay, so that's very related to us because we're a law office, and of course, many courts were canceled, but there were so many other things that we could actually keep doing from home. And for us, it was super important to have really good systems, technology, apps, to be able to keep working and providing the services for our clients as if we were in the office. So that was really a life-changing opportunity. And the good thing about it is that we still use some of those things currently at the office, and it has been really good because we have been able to be more efficient in many areas. More importantly, I feel like we've learned how to do things with less resources. Obviously, we found ways to actually do more work with less either people or either resources such as paper. We've tried to do everything electronically. We found out how to do virtual work, so actually hire people that work virtually for us, and that has worked really, really well. So I feel like those are very good things that COVID has actually taught us, if we can say it that way, during this past year, even though there's also many bad things that have brought, it has brought with it. For example, we used to have lunch all together, no worries, having fun and talking, trying to relax a little bit, during the hectic day that we had at the office. Take that lunchtime to actually bond with each other and have some quality time. Well, that's pretty much gone. So that's something that, we try to do it, but obviously we have masks and we have shields and we have all these protocols in place to make sure that we're protected. And overall, there's other not so good things that it has brought. For example, we haven't been able to see many clients in the office for the same reason. We're trying to keep everything virtual, not only for the protection of our employees, but also for the protection of their clients. Because again, we don't know. We don't know who has it. We don't know who doesn't. And we actually want to protect everyone, make sure we stop the spread. So that's, a brief summary about work, how things have changed. Now, let's talk about school. I am a mom, and I don't know how many of you are parents, but as you know, last year, everything was virtual to finish the semester, and that was very hard. I think that from everything that COVID has brought to me, to my family, this has been the hardest part. Of course, it would be worse to actually lose someone to COVID. We have people that, not family members of mine, but close friends, families that have unfortunately lost their lives. And that's the absolute worst that could actually happen. So we're grateful that we're alive, we're healthy. But talking about school, to me, because it has to do with kids, it has been very frustrating. Very sad to watch how kids have to learn a new way, how they had to adapt to a new reality that they were not ready for. How, again, I can tell you about my daughter, my oldest daughter. She is in 4th grade. Well, last year she was in third grade. And it was really, really hard for her to not see her friends, to not be physically in the school, to be at home and trying to do homework with me being the teacher. She didn't like that. Even though I feel like I could help her, she didn't understand very well why it needed to be that way, and she was rebellious. She got to the point where we had to take her to a therapist, that is actually focused on kids. And she went there for a whole year. She just finished therapy a few weeks back, and it actually helped her very much to understand the new reality. And sometimes as parents, we don't have all the tools to be able to help them understand the new reality. We don't have all the tools to help them cope with this new reality, right? That we're all living in. It's been hard for us as adults, imagine kids. So I feel like school, it has been definitely, at least for us, my husband and I, the hardest thing about COVID so far. And I feel like we as parents have the responsibility. We have the responsibility to actually find help when we need to. And again, there's organizations out there that can help. There's also psychologists that can help, also therapists at school that are available for our children so that they can cope and, get through this. A year later, that was at the beginning of last year, right? But now, a year later, we made the choice to have our daughters go back in person to school, and it has been great. Of course, I'm still scared sometimes because you never know. But at the same time, for our family, we felt like it was the best decision for them to go back for their emotional health. And honestly, we're very happy that we made that decision because they are thriving. They're doing a lot better. They have that social interaction that is so much needed for children. And of course, I don't judge any parent who still has who still have their children at home. Why? Because I was one of those moms who had, my daughter at home last semester and the previous semester, so almost a year at home. And while it was good in many aspects, I feel like my daughter couldn't handle it anymore. So again, every parent has the right to choose, of course, what's best for the children, and nobody should be judging whether that is to stay at home or whether that is go back to school. And besides that, I feel that's something that you guys can actually be very, very in tune with me, and I think you're gonna have the same opinion, is vacations. Let's talk about something funner. So, of course, when COVID hit a year ago, or a little bit more than a year ago, everybody would just take vacations, go anywhere, post on social media, or everything, pictures, videos. But I don't know about you, but in my opinion, there is some sort of syndrome, a new syndrome called vacation guilt, because now during this year, I'm not gonna lie, I've taken a few vacations to places where maybe some people would freak out or be like, how responsible are you taking your kids to this place when there's a pandemic going on? We've done it, again, not often, but we've gone a few times to different places, and we haven't posted a single picture. We haven't posted a single video. We haven't said anything. In one occasion, we actually didn't tell anyone. Nobody knew that we left. Nobody, except the person that was going to take care of the dogs. Nobody else knew that we were gone. And the reason why that happens is because I feel like there's this division, right, between, what's appropriate, where to be, like very COVID oriented, where you need to protect yourself, protect others, and make sure that you wear your mask, and make sure you wash your hands, and make sure you don't, you're be 6 feet apart and all those rules that we all know, which I agree with and I follow as much as humanly possible. But there's this other side where you have children, you have a lot, you have to work. You can't just sit at home, right? And while we can work from home occasionally, there's some things that are so much harder to do at home than actually coming to the office. So I feel that because of people's judgment, a lot of people have, reserved that option of posting or of saying where they're going. And I feel like, again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion and to their own guidelines and what they want to follow. But I feel like we need to also be understanding of the other side, right? We just never know. We just never know what someone is going through. We just never know why they choose to do something the way they do, right? They don't have the same reality as we do. They definitely have a different family, different everything. So different circumstances. So I feel like we need to be a little bit more tolerant. We need to be a little bit more understanding. You have no idea how many posts I see on Facebook, like somebody taking their kids somewhere and they take a picture and then the comments, it's like, why are you doing that? We're in a pandemic. Like, why are you not wearing a mask? Like all these things, granted, I may agree with it, but I don't feel like I have the right to judge that person, that family for the decision they made, right? At the end of the day, they are the only ones who will suffer the consequences of that decision. So I feel like a year after COVID, there's many good things and there's also bad things, like everything. Of course, I feel like most of us are feeling now the aftermath of COVID. I feel like we're still going through the pandemic. We're still going through the vaccination process. Not all of us are eligible to do it right now. Some of us are saying that you shouldn't vaccinate. Some of them say that you should. At the end of the day, it's your choice. At the end of the day, it's whatever makes you feel comfortable, whatever you feel like is best for you and for your family. And of course, as we go through this, cycle of now we have a possible cure, because who knows, possible something that can help, with the fight against COVID. We need to start thinking about, okay, let's just recap a little bit and see how our lives are going to look after this. How do I want my life to look after this? What did I learn? Why would I change? What would I do better? At the beginning, like I remember going grocery shopping. Well, not even. I remember like using Instacart to do grocery shopping. And when the groceries came home, I would disinfect everything. And if the girls would touch a little bit of something, I would disinfect their hands. And I was very paranoid because I didn't know. I didn't know any better. Now I still clean them, but not as crazy as I used to, because, there's some studies that show that doesn't really help. There's others that do. So I don't really know. I just try to do the best I can for my family, because there's so much different information out there that sometimes you don't even know what you should do. But good things have been, we've been able to, have dinner as a family more often. I feel like before our schedules were so crazy, because there were, in our case, we own a law firm, so there were a lot of court cases. So my husband had to be in court all the time and doing all these things that, because of COVID, they were canceled. So that gave us a lot more time to spend as a family, which I'm very grateful for. Bad things is that all those courts that were canceled are now being rescheduled a year later. So, of course, the work kind of doubled. So that's something that's going to probably take a toll on our family. But again, I'm grateful for the time that we were able to spend together as everything was being closed. I'm grateful for the new opportunities that we got, opportunities to work from home, offer our employees to have the flexibility, which is really great. because I feel like you don't have to use all your PTO or vacation time for everything or every little thing that you might need. You can just work from home. And I feel like that's a great thing that came out of this. Another good thing, I feel like there's a lot of people out there that have been very, very understanding and very, very nice to each other during this pandemic. Bad thing, there's a lot of people judging about everything you post, everything you say, everything you do. And that's something that unfortunately I feel like every day is just more and more. Also, people, for some reason, a year later, at least here in the office, we've noticed that they are more frustrated and they want things done right now. It doesn't matter if you have limitations or if things are back open or not. People just want to do it right now, which I completely understand. Like if I was in their shoes, I'll be tired of waiting for something to happen in my case, but at the same time, being so intolerant about it, it causes an issue. It's really hard to work with someone who, of course, it's mad or upset all the time. So I feel like people's frustrations and tempers have gone up, and not only for clients, also for employees, for bosses, for leaders. Like it's just a time where you can really see, who's who and who's really affected by the situation. And I feel like as a community, we should all be involved in trying to improve, trying to be there for each other, judge less, and be happier and understand that at some point this will end. Of course, I don't know if entirely, but at least it'll get better. There's nothing in life that lasts 100 years. There's always an end to it, a beginning and an end. So I feel like this is just a moment in life. Just try to be respectful of others' feelings, of others' decisions, and always know that for anything that you're going through, there's always help, whether that's with kids, work, parenting, vacation guilt, anything that you might be going through, there's always help. There's always someone out there that can, help you out and hear you out and give you tools to be able to get through it. But I feel like a year after COVID, I feel better. I'm still scared, but not as scared as I used to be. I feel like our family is finally understanding the new reality. Finally, we have some things in place that feel safe and that have worked for the last year. And I hope that your family is also finding those little things that can help you find that comfort at your own house. And, so that as we go through this next phase of the next year to see how it looks, hopefully those things that you have in place now can help you and you'll be in a much better place after that. So I really hope that you enjoyed this chat. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, you can post them below. And as always, we're here to serve you. Have a great day.